Hello and welcome to another episode of Soul Talk, where we talk Star Citizen with members of the community. I'm here with my co-host Gomab. How are you doing, Gomab?
I'm doing all right. Slightly salty, but still smiling.
Gomab, I had y'all set up. Why you got smaller somehow? Did you lower your seat?
No, man. No, man. I'm on a diet.
The incredible drinking Gomab ATL. How's your week been?
It's been all right, man. I'm just counting the days until I can take a few off. You know. There you go. That a little bit better.
Thank you. So what else have you been up to? Anything good happening this week?
Yeah, man. So a few of my fraternity brothers we're getting together this weekend to have our annual Christmas party. And you know how I do. We are a bunch of the brothers are bringing their various grilling and culinary skills to the table. I myself, I'm bringing a nice brisket. Got a 15-pounder sitting upstairs waiting for that trim. Right now, we got some folks bringing some other stuff. Should be a good time.
And where is this again? No, I'm kidding.
Come on down. It's GoMob ATL for a reason.
Yeah,
so if you make it to Atlanta, I'll send somebody to come pick you up.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm heading down to Virginia on Monday for the holidays myself, so hopefully I'll be well fed while I'm down there. But I've been tempted to restart Final Fantasy 14, but they just overwhelmed by the popularity. Their own success is their downfall. Put it that way. They're just too crowded.
Yeah. Well, I'm right outside of the city of Atlanta proper, so luckily my work commute is relatively short. It takes me about 45 to 50 seconds to walk my ass downstairs and go to my basement. So I really don't care about the traffic anymore. I don't leave my house between rush hour hours anyway, so I'm good.
Did you watch the video game award? Did you see in the trailer to cut your eye?
No, I try not to, man. My wallet is already smoking from the ship sales. And look, my wife and kids are already looking at me sideways when daddy's on the stick. So I gotta keep I gotta keep the gaming. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple games right now. I'm playing Halo and Star Citizen, and that's it.
All right, so I'm gonna do my thing. You ready?
Oh, go ahead, man. Let's see if I can get it.
All right. Look at me. Go up. Look at me. Wait, hold on. Let me look at my chair. Nope, he's not here. Nope, he's not here. Nope, he's not around. Is he on my phone? Nope, he's not on my phone. I'm the captain now.
Is that Apollo?
Yeah, Apollo, exactly.
Look at me.
You look at me, yeah. Yeah,
I'm the captain now.
Some people are scared I'll be drunk with power at the Sunday show. I'm like, nah, Griffin, come back whenever you can. But for people who don't know, that was my rendition of Captain Phillip. I think that's gonna get an EGOT award. What do you think on that?
Yeah, man. It'll at least get one of the EGOTs. You know what I'm saying? You got to pick one because EGOT means all of them.
Yeah,
so,
no, that's how good. That's just how good my performance was, man.
Well, you got to at least sing something in order to get the Grammy. So, drop a verse real quick. You know what I'm saying? Drop a hot 8. You know what I'm saying? A little 4 bars of hot heat. You know what I'm saying? Get you in the Dick That collab real quick.
Thank you, Chipwreck. I'm going to drag folks down and we can start talking about the sneak peek. Nope, that's not the one I want. Oh, that's fine. I'll drag people down, while people. So, did you take a look at the sneak peek this week?
Oh, I saw it. Yeah, I saw it.
What'd you think?
They keep dropping stuff. About these, pyro, right? And I'm like, all right, are you trying to hint that it's coming sooner than we think?
Yeah, it's closer than most of the community things. That's what Ray was.
They keep dropping it. Like every other time, it's like everything they're dropping is in pyro. So I'm like, all right, it's around the corner. Or crazy thought, it's actually ready and just waiting on the back end technology for it to be able.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened
I think they're
before
just waiting on the
3.0.
tech.
It was the same thing.
By
They
the way,
designed Nevsky years before 3.0 dropped.
By the way, I'm joined here tonight with Admiral Kusanagi, Dark Knight 75, Fistface, Hodo, Jade, and Face. By the way, if anyone else wants to join us, there's a link down below on Twitch. Click on the link and we'll drag it on and have a nice little discussion. So where's that quote, the quote from? Take my mind, take my pain. Anyone know that song? I'm looking it up now in case someone else knows.
No.
That's the Firefly song.
It's a Firefly?
It says Healed song by Tom Odell.
That's what it sounds like anyway when you're singing it, but I honestly couldn't tell.
Yeah, I understand the Firefly reference too. Maybe they meant both. But yeah, it's Tom Odell Healed. That's what it says according to Google. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right, so that's the Mercy Hospital in Cairo that we're guessing.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the Mercy Hospital is. It's on Levski, right?
I don't know. That would be
is that
next
Levski,
one, right?
Jade? I think I asked you this a little bit ago.
Ask me what? Sorry, I had to step away.
Where's Mercy Hospital located? Is that Levski?
That's at no Mercy. Yeah, Mercy Hospital's at Levski. Yep.
Okay, so why are they giving us a? Why are they giving us a? Do you think they're going to drop Levski or in Delamar at the same? Oh, well, Nyx and Pyro at the same time.
You know, I wouldn't be shocked. I don't think so. I think we'll get them like a patch apart probably, but it's because they're working on both. You know, they're working on all the hospitals right now, and they know that they're going to need it, so they're working on it. So that's why they're giving us a sneak peek. That's just my guess.
I mean, once they get the background technology, who knows what else they'll drop inside of Pyro or back into Stanton once they have the room to drop their stuff back. So, yeah, hopefully we can hope. All right. So next up we have the buyback token on the schedule. I don't know if anyone else has taken their peek. Oops, I must. That's weird. Oh, I know what it is. My bad.
If you want, you can use that link I just posted in Twitch.
Look on your screen.
Oh, yeah, you broke the stream.
But
I looked out. I was like, "What is up with the stream?"
But there it is, the buyback, the 2022 buyback token schedule. So the first one is on January 4th. The next one is on April 4th. The next one is July 5th and October 3rd for the quarter 4. So, and people who are concierge, I think, will be getting 2 buyback tokens starting in January.
Wait, what?
Oh, that's new.
Oh, that was a new concierge thing that they put together. If you melt all your packages and your concierge, you can still play Star Citizen, and you'll get 2 buyback tokens instead of 1. They announced that about a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're like, how can we make concierge actually worth something more than a better, support queue? Apparently.
Well, concierge, you also have a better, I hate to say this, menu option to go through because you get the packages you can see, which those of us who aren't concierge don't see.
I get packs I can look to buy, but really don't want to.
Better options to spend money. Yeah,
it's definitely prettier. It's a nice white.
You have paid for an opportunity to pay more.
But I mean, those packages give you opportunities to buy ships that normally wouldn't be available outside of that.
Yeah,
I just want to see when do they open the chairman's clubs in game?
I can't wait for that. That's
yeah.
Yeah,
Weren't they open at one time?
No.
I think
I've never seen those doors open before.
The Million Mile Club.
That's what I'm going to talk about. Yeah, the Million Mile High Club. I've been I think I went to one time, and it was a while ago, so I wouldn't mind being able to go there again. I'm never going to afford that in my own, but yeah, I want to visit there again. Hopefully they'll update it, because I mean that was like 2016, 2017 when it first came out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it hasn't been
Shank.
updated. I was there for the Yuri's Night Social. I'm not in the Million Mile High Club, but one of the devs let us in, and yeah, it still looks the way it did then, so it could definitely use an update.
Hey, here's an idea. How about they open the Chairman's Club, and then in the Chairman's Club gives you a nice kiosk or some kind of terminal where you can retrieve lost purchased items. So, like, let's say you got some concierge items that you
mean
lost somehow, instead of
kinda
having
like
to
what,
reset your account.
You mean kind of like what they do in the Old Republic? People who've got the collector's edition get to go up the elevator to buy all the crap that they whenever they make a new character, they can just go up the elevator on their fleet and buy all the stuff that they put to have.
Yeah, something where they can, it just says, hey, look, because they even call it out on the patch notes. Yeah, we know that, you have items that you have purchased that you can lose to a ship exploding or random crash or whatever. Hey, here's an easy way to get it back. Just go reset your account. That doesn't feel great, right? So, that would be a great opportunity to put something in the game actually that allows you to, have access to just go buy those things back.
I just want to go in there and
go ahead.
Go ahead, Fastcart. I was just gonna say I just want to go in there and go up to the staff and have them sit me at a table so I can order something.
I was gonna say back to the buyback token schedule. I have so many stuff in buyback. I want to get using RSI credit instead of using real credits. I gotta get like a whole A, gotta get the whole B, because I had those at the original price, and before they increased the price. So I'll be happy that we can get 2 instead of 1 per quarter. How about the rest of you? Anyone else have stuff they want to buy back with RSI class using their token?
Yeah,
I'd say not me really, because I usually limit myself to what I want to what I use.
Yeah, I don't have anything in buyback at all. I don't plan to have anything in buyback either. The only ship I want next is the Genesis Starliner, and that's pretty much the end of my purchasing career.
You say
Yeah, I'm good.
That's a lie.
No, that's serious. I have no other interest to purchase any other ship outside of the game, except for the Starliner.
Yet.
Yeah, but that's the only one I'm interested in.
All right.
Nobody can convince me otherwise.
The poet said I'm wing commander and I actually have nothing in buyback. I know he typoed wing commander for win, but I think he is winning too.
It fits. Win commander, yeah.
I think that was a, what do you call it, a 40-inch clip. That's the term.
Yeah.
All right, so next up we have the roadmap roundup. Go map. You want to take some of these for me? Hopefully you got the link out. The notable changes.
It's on my other screen here. You can start with the first ones.
All right, so release view. As mentioned in both the roadmap caveats and letter from the chairman, the company roadmap back in 2020 is marked the committed for release windows are done with at least 90% certain features they won't move. So moving on from there, the features below have successfully been integrated into Alpha 3.16 patch, targeting next week for the release of to live servers. These also come alongside improvements to the law system, atmospheric bounties, and other gameplay improvements, which you can read more about here. I think that's a patch note, or yeah, that's a patch note for the lawbreaker. So you have the Area 18 Hospital, Dying Star updated map. I'm looking forward to that. Graveler physics rework. People looking forward to that. And Jump Town 2.0. People looking forward to that. So out of all those, I think that's a pretty good update.
Yeah, and on top of that, and it's crazy because watching all the videos from all the different content creators all week, everybody's been saying, well, where are all the features? And then, Jared hit that, hey, we've been using the point patches for a lot to kind of spread out our features. So according to this, the derelict spaceships and the trip mines, where everybody was asking where they're at, they're getting pushed out to, or not necessarily being pushed out to, but they're being slated to be released on 16.1, 3.16.1. And they've actually moved a couple features to 3.17, which is that DNA head texture updates and the mining gadgets. The head texture updates, it's kind of like, oh darn, I got a helmet on all the time anyway. So I don't, I know a lot of people really were looking forward to that. Specifically, a lot of content creators, machinima creators, people that have a really tight attachment to the actual, form of their characters and stuff like that. So I'm sure that a lot of people may be disappointed by that, but I'm okay with them pushing those type of things out and make sure they get it done right and get more higher priority stuff actually implemented sooner.
Master, thank you for the 100 bits. Appreciate it. I think people are also looking forward to laser trip mine tier 0. So yeah, people are interested and curious about how those will work and when we get them. Cause that's for 3.16.1, so that's not even in the PU right now, correct? PTU, I mean.
No.
Correct. It's not in the PTU now, but it's going to be in 3.16.1. And I want those DNA improvements before the laser trip mines, but I know I'm in the minority here, so.
You were who I was referring to.
Yeah, I figured that. Yeah, thank you.
No,
for that.
I have way more interest in the head texture more than the laser trip mine, so it's not just it's me too. So you're not alone. It's back exactly what you said.
Fastcart wants to make somebody whose face can be a weapon.
My face
But like
is always a weapon.
Nomad
Have you
said,
seen
I
this?
want them to do it right. So I'm good with waiting because like
Hey, I
Nomad
just
said,
am I
right.
the only person that just keeps hitting the random button until something pops up that doesn't offend me and I hit accept?
I go into it and make a character that I want. Well, not that I want, but I spend like maybe 2 minutes and when it
What was that Freudian slip earlier?
Yeah, right. I spent 8 seconds because I know I'm gonna have to do it again. So I just keep hitting random. Okay, that person isn't atrocious. So let me change the hair a little bit and accept. Right. I always do the. They need to put a bald, just a straight bald hair option. I don't understand why they got to have that buzz cut with the little with the bald patch in the middle. Like, dude, just go straight bald. I'll be all right with that.
I'm still waiting for an Afrocentric hair.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
with some curly hair,
or even just an afro.
Look.
They made those Afrocentric hair because Twitch Pacheco they have some hairstyles for Twitch that they haven't used, so they're thinking about them. Also, what I want is for like a code that we can just copy, put into a text file, and then paste whenever there's a reset, so we can finalize and get the head that we want or the body that we want, and whenever there's a reset, we just copy the code back in. And everything's the same. That's what I want.
Yeah, I think a lot of the machinima makers would definitely agree with you on that, Fastcart.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Therefore, it probably won't happen anytime soon.
Or at least add it to your user config file.
Do you want to read the progress packet for me, Gomez, please?
Yeah. So the following deliverables have been added to the progress tracker. So we've got lockable containers that are coming up. Lockable containers will add the ability for designers to lock entities with either physical or electronic locks, which can be opened with a key or forced open via cutting, destroying, or hacking the lock. This deliverable has been added to the EU-PU gameplay feature team schedule. So that should be cool. More stuff to hack. So I know they've been talking a lot about hacking here lately. So, all right, the next one, FPS devices tier 1. While throwable and consumable devices already exist within Star Citizen as grenades and med pens, further work on this system will enable us to more easily create new items with different effects when used. This includes the development of deployable devices or items that can be carried around as part of a player's loadout, equipped and deployed onto a surface. This deliverable has been added to a weapon features team schedule. The vehicle tech team has moved from being an upstream team to a downstream team. As a reminder, this means that this team is in a more reactive role and plans only 1 quarter ahead rather than 4. This team is keeping their current schedule through Q1, but some of their longer-term deliverables are coming off the progress tracker until we approach that time frame next year. For this reason, the following deliverables are being removed from the progress tracker temporarily. Multi-grid SDF, or capital ship destruction, and cockpit button animations. That's all for this week. This is the last roadmap roundup of the year. Our next roadmap update is slated for January 26, 2022. It's almost a month.
Do roadmap? Oh, you mean CIG roadmap? Okay, I got
CIG.
it.
It's the CIG roadmap. That was my Jared impression that I did there.
Okay. I need some work, but I need some work.
I had to put my own spin on it, my own flavor.
Oh, okay.
So I got some information regarding these this tech here. So regarding the lockable containers, the progress tracker has that being a 41-week schedule that started in November, and that will go through this coming August. In terms of the FPS devices deployables, this is actually a PU and Squadron 42 item, and the T0 actually was done in July of this past year, and it looks like T1, which they're talking about here, is supposed to start in February and go through early July. So that's about 21 weeks. So it'll be interesting to see what comes about that stuff.
So what do you guys think is going to be in those FPS devices?
I want like drop down a turret like aliens when they go in the tunnel.
I think we're gonna get shields, like personal force fields or deployable force field. Maybe the stun baton from the long time ago that they gave for the advocacy tools. And I think that's what it's gonna be.
Well, they did tease that taser, so there's that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep, that too.
Well, wouldn't it? Well, yeah, I guess that would be something new because we don't have a. That's taser stuff. I wonder if there's going to be a new archetype of carryable. Like, I guess shield would work. Now with the personal inventory, like how will we carry a turret, so to speak? Will we be able to strap it onto a large backpack? I'm curious to see, would it be some kind of like an energy shield wall, so to speak, that we can kind of throw up and block, projectiles coming at us?
Remember, was it Elysium? Elysium's that one with the city up in space, right?
Yeah.
I remember like the guy who played the bad guy, and he actually like hit his hand with a little device and like a shield was there and took like a grenade. I would love to have something like that, like a deployable like shield that's like on your arm or something.
Kind of like what they had in not giving too much away Foundation. With the shields that they had on their arms.
Right. There's in Star Citizen lore, there's the Basilic deployable shield, which is a small mobile shield generator that can be carried on the belt. Designed for quick deployment in combat, when activated, it will create a temporary shield in front of the wearer's body, capable of absorbing incoming damage from projectiles. So GoMap was right.
Yes, and there's actually a video, and don't ask me to recall it, but there's a video, I believe, like some that they created years and years ago that showed like a force field around somebody in a actual firefight.
Yeah, I think it was I forget. Yeah, but I know what you're talking about. One thing that I'm hoping for is more powers, or like you remember the engineer class in Mass Effect. I'm hoping for more deployable like that, because I can't fire, I can't aim worth of crap, but I can throw real well.
I'll say there's also the idea that it could finally be the ability to deploy guns. Like, because they were hinting at that with the whole, we can't put them on trolleys yet, but
Oh yeah, yeah, those mountable guns that are outside outposts.
What about a deployable camera you can like stick to the wall and you can kind of like, have it kind of hidden so you can see what's going on. You can watch it in a camera on your HUD.
All right. Okay, so next up we have the Celebrate Luminalia 2951. I'm going to click on the grab your gift and show some of the gifts that we have. Has anyone been grabbing these things?
Here comes the salt.
Grabbing
Yeah, I got 2 million from those gifts till they nerfed them. Now I haven't, in protest, I haven't picked up one. So there you go, CIG.
Yeah, I did a few rounds and I made a little bit of coin doing it, and it was fun while it lasted. Then of course, fun was detected, and therefore, they had to take it out of the game. It is whatever. It's people complaining about the losing free money is really weird to me.
It was all Dig That's fault. If he hadn't made that video, he didn't do that video, CIG would have never reacted.
We told him that last night. He came in and sat and talked with us. We're like, Dig, it was all you that contributed to 30 threads being thrown in Spectrum about I lost my ability to make millions on free boxes. Like, okay.
I was picking them up last night. I was at Area 18. I was like, man, these things are all over the place. And it's like picking up a Quantine. No, is it Quantine? Hadanite. It's like Hadanite rocks, really. So I think there was like 250 a pop. So I was just like, oh, I made like $2,700 or something. That was it. I wasn't going crazy. They were like all around me.
I think they should have waited till next year to change it. Like, it's one thing to change it, like if they had changed it next year, I'd have been cool with it. I still am cool with it. I mean, it's free money. What do I, who am I to say what CIG should do with their free money? But at the same time, I understand the salt because they're changing it in the middle of an event that people were excited for, right? And then now they're like, no, you can't have, we're going to make it 25% of what you were getting.
What do people think of the Luminalia Day 6, the preview for the new space bike that they've been talking about? What was that?
Handlebars.
Yeah, handlebar. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you get it.
It doesn't need to be in my hangar.
With no handlebars. No handlebars.
I just hope it's not Drake or Origin or Apoa. I hope it's a new manufacturer.
Crusader.
Yeah, Crusader. That'd be.
I heard it could
awesome.
be RSI.
Yeah, I think it's RSI. I accidentally saw some of the No, I don't know what they are, but yeah, I actually saw some pictures. It look RSI if those pictures are correct.
Is it me or is that thing super high in the air? Like
it's just the camera angle.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks like a mountain to the right, and then that just looks really high. Unless he's like on top of like a snowy mountain, but I don't see snow like beyond that. Like the next hill above that to the right, if it is a hill, is like completely bare. That's why I'm like, is that all clouds?
I think it's Crusader from the color scheme. Look at that red button. Red, black, white.
Why would Crusader make a motorcycle?
Why not?
No, why not?
Why would mostly known for heavy lift?
Origin make one?
Why would anyone make them? To make money. There's a market for it. But yeah, I didn't get the free thing today because I didn't want to clog up my hangar with stuff that it says free, but you can't really get rid of them. And I didn't get the Luminalia Day 3. It's a free screen wallpaper of the. I think that's what Valkyrie.
Yeah, that's a Valkyrie.
Yeah, I didn't get that, so I got everything except for those two.
I just got the caterpillar paint, and I don't even own a caterpillar, but I'm like, if I do get one, it's kind of nice to have. It's kind of militaristic, I guess. But it's if I add some brain to the front, it works too.
Wait, you mean the skin is militaristic or the caterpillar is militaristic?
Oh, the caterpillar skin in front of us, the Luminalia. It's the green that it has.
It's
kind of like
Christmas. It's green and red. It's Christmas.
Well,
How is that militaristic?
if Santa was trying to keep people out.
All right, so I think it's time to get to the salt of the day that GoMap is going to have plenty of fun about. It's not in Discord, but it's on the stream right now. I'm pointing to a tweet that Griffin linked for us tonight to read. So this is from Mush Noodle. He says he loved waking up to all the complaints about the nerf of the Ion. So many people discussing its role as a dogfighter. Does no one actually remember the role it was supposed to play? Geez, I need my morning coffee. So, Go Map, you want to start with this one? The Ion.
I'm actually okay with it. I'm so kidding. I am not.
I was
okay
going to say, what? What have you done with Go Map?
All right. I understand what everybody's saying about the role of the ship, right? It is supposed to be a capital. First of all, they keep getting the role wrong, right? It's not going to be a capital ship killer. It's going to be a capital ship herder, maybe, or a disabler, or it can kill the capital ships if there's a bunch of them, just like a bunch of other ships could do it. The challenge is that they put a size 7 weapon, right, on this ship. Said, all right, this ship is going to have a size. It's the biggest weapon that we have in the game right now that can be donned by a player, right? There's no size 8, size 9 guns on any other ships in the game. So you put this size 7 one. They did laser cannon, and we're not going to talk about the Ares Infernal.
Wow.
We're not going to talk about that one right now. But we put a size 7 laser cannon on there, right? We knew that, all right, it's going to have a really slow fire rate, but man, is that thing going to hit like a truck, right?
Right.
And the reason why it has to hit like a truck is because cap ships have what? Capital size shields.
Right.
So it's going to take a lot of alpha damage in order to actually damage the shields on those ships, right? If you reduce the alpha damage of a gun to the point where now the Ares essentially has the same damage as a Vanguard Warden.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
Would you take yeah, you could sit there and you can fight a Idris or a Javelin with the Vanguard Warden all day. Have fun with that. I think I do understand that they're going to be tweaking this and they're going to be continuously making changes. This was really heavy-handed, and I so hope that the current iteration of this change to the Ion does not make it into live. It will be heart-wrenchingly disappointing to me. I do understand that there are people out there that are really complaining that that Ares Ion is just way too powerful against ships in its class or below. That's understandable. Not to the point where it's an absolute meta. I don't think there's a meta that exists in this game, but it is a powerful ship. But unfortunately, though, that vocal minority is very loud, right? And CIG reacts to that a lot. We've seen that happen a lot, where people scream for things that are too powerful. Somebody killed me, and you gotta nerf it. I should be able to kill it with my Aurora. right.
going to jump. I'm going to jump in right here, but I just want to say right now we're watching Montoya's video about the horrible nerf to the Ares Ion in 316, and he right now he's demonstrating how at 2.4 or 2.6 clicked out you can't hit anything, even though it's supposed to be a sniper ship. I myself, I got the Ion too because it fit my playstyle for dog biting like to a T. Am I disappointed? A little, but the thing is, that thing had an alpha of a 15, almost 6,000 damage alpha strike. When I saw that, I knew that was too high. It was too good to be true. So I'm not. Am I surprised that they lowered it? No. Do I think they lowered it too much? They'll probably raise it a little bit before it's released. That's my guess. That's my hope. What do other people think?
I kind of, my opinions on it just kind of changed, listening to GoMab. I kind of feel like they're doing what they think is right for what the ship is intended to, and for capital size ships, this ship specifically, the Ion, is supposed to take down shields, and I think the armor penetration is supposed to be a lot less, and that's why you have the other Ares. So I think that's kind of what they're going with that, and then of course it's not really a fighter. It's not supposed to be going up against light fighters and stuff like that. Yes, I think you could probably one-shot fighters in the future with this. So why can't you just do it now? I guess is the question. But certainly, I think didn't they take away some type of like auto aim or like, because it is a fixed weapon, and I think they had some type of auto aim on there that marginally moved it to kill you if you were like within that target range or reticle. But I kind of think that's what they're trying to do.
They removed the fixed assist from it, which is something I don't agree with. The nerf on the alpha was good. The rate of fire increase, not so good, but I think they went a little crazy with that. But yeah, the fixed assist removal kind of killed it.
I think with this ship and every other ship where there's this huge controversy about balance, like I just take a wait and see approach because balance is ongoing. It's going to be ongoing till Star Citizen is quote released. So what we have now is not what we're going to have in the future. That's the only thing years of playing this game has taught me is don't get too caught up in the ship balance issues because they're always changing.
I still have mine. I'm not getting rid of it. I just we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Now, the people here who have gotten the Ion, who is thinking about melting it, who is thinking about ceasing it to something else?
I've got both the Ion and Inferno. I'm not melting either one.
I have an Ion. I don't have an Inferno. I only got the Ion for the memes. I just use store credit for it. But I personally look at the Ion and I go, yeah, the changes were needed. A lot of people saying, oh, it's because someone complained about dying in a Gladius to it. No, it wasn't that. It was just any ship that can one-shot any group of ships has a problem. Now, the reduction of alpha was good. The increasing rate of fire, a little overboard. I thought it should have matched the other bearing size 7 laser cannons. 2,500 point alpha is still stupid.
Now, my question is going to be this, right?
Go ahead.
I hear what everybody's saying. When the Idris comes into the game, and somebody takes that Idris and they get one with the railgun on it, and they one-shot your C2 or your Carrick, right? Are they going to nerf that?
Well, that's okay. So you're talking about an Idris. So
I'm talking about the biggest gun in the game.
Right. You're talking about an Idris. So the biggest gun in the game, size 10 railgun. If he manages to one-shot a C2 with it, okay, the C2 was in the way. That C2 couldn't avoid it if he wanted to. But there is no way an Idris is going to enter this game and then go and dogfight a Hornet, let alone a Gladius or an Arrow, and turn with him and then be able to backtrack and put one shot through the cockpit of that ship consistently every time.
Well, I mean,
That's the problem with
the reason why
IO.
reason why I say an Idris to a Carrick or an 890 or a C2, right? Because those are the steps down, right? Where the Ares Ion is a medium or heavy fighter, depending on where you look, and we're talking about them doing one shots to light fighters. Right, which is a step down from them as far as size and whole HP and shield capacity, right? So it's a step down. It's not one-shotting Redeemers. It's not one-shotting Connies. It's not one-shotting Vanguards. It's one-shotting these smaller, more nimble, faster, agile ships, right? So if we take that same logic and say that's bad, right? And we go up and say, okay, well, what if the next, big bad that's supposed to have the big bad gun, right? Because this ship is supposed to be the big bad gun. Now that big bad gun was meant to fight capital ships, but it's just a big bad gun. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, it's just a big bad. The size 7 is the biggest, baddest gun.
So my question is this: and this is why I said fix assist shouldn't have never gone away. That's why Montoya couldn't hit Jack in that video. Right. It's because fix assist was pulling him on target. Without fixed assist, you're losing that. It's just like back in 3.6, 3.7, 3.8. If you tried to fly Vanguard, you couldn't hit water from a boat that was sinking. So it was just impossible. Right.
But my mistake. I wanted to clarify. That's not Montoya trying to hit the ship. That was him watching someone else trying to hit the ship.
Oh, okay.
But that was in Montoya's video. Go ahead.
But I mean, in that video, yeah, that's why he couldn't do it, because fixed assist was removed. It didn't have anything to do with the fact that the ship was, the gun that got changed. The gun stayed the same. It just got a different rate of fire and a couple of other things.
Right. I mean, and I'm okay with that as long as I want to make sure that the reasons behind these changes aren't muddied, and that they still keep true to the fact that this is still the biggest, baddest gun. Right. It should be scary.
You realize that the Ion now will have the highest DPS out of any ship in the game default, plus the highest capacitor for its gun.
Hold on. Griffin stepping in. Hey, Griffin, you want to say something?
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Griffin. Hey, Griffin.
I want to go back to something that we had said a long time ago before these ships came out. And it was the conversation that someone just said a few minutes ago, that the Ion and the Inferno are designed to complement the ballistics and the energy dynamics of them against cap ships. Montoya said some things in his video I didn't agree with. One of the things he said, and that's one of the reasons why I put it in, because I've heard other people say this, talk about it being a sniper. I saw nothing in the description. Unless somebody else saw that. I've seen, and I've heard people using that term about this ship. This ship has been marketed and sold as the ship that was supposed to go against capital class ships. So all this argument and discussion about what it does to fighters, to me, is mute. That just happens to be icing on the cake. It is not the purpose of this ship. And CIG even said, if a fighter happens to fly in front of this sucker, well, too bad, right? But that's not the goal of the pilot that takes this ship out, is to go out and start dogfighting. Now, we're doing it because we don't have cap ships in the game. But the real purpose of this ship, that's like me saying, I'm going to take a retaliate there and start shooting at Avengers. Well, there's no caps out there, so yeah, that's what I'm going to do. But the real purpose of this ship and for the Inferno, that's why I think both of these ships, to Jade's point, balancing is not even a factor at this point. And there are some things that sometimes CIG does. They pulled back. They gave it a higher rate of fire. They pulled it back as far as what people really like about it. And everybody's been, remember, if you listen to the conversation that you guys were having a few weeks ago, oh, the Ion is better than the Inferno. I'm getting rid of the Inferno. Everybody was one shifting to that one ship. What about the Inferno? What about the Inferno? All of a sudden, nobody cared about the Inferno. So even though Fastcart, I know you presented the question about melting, I don't necessarily want to say that, because I don't want, because we saw this reaction happen with the Odyssey.
Right.
When the Odyssey wasn't what people thought it was, people started melting. We have got to start really paying attention to what these ships are supposed to do. We have to give enough room for that little small print clause at the bottom that says CIG can modify and change, or that the ship may turn to something entirely different. It's a hard pill to swallow. And especially the more that the game starts to come together and the more that we're actually enjoying it and being able to play it, we want to be able to do that stuff. But those rules haven't changed from the way they were 5-6 years ago.
And
So
that was the point I was trying to make, but you were more eloquent about it. It's like, even though they quote unquote nerf the ion, or it is a nerf basically, I still want to keep it. I'm not going to melt it. I'm not going to CC it to the different step because it fits my play style. And I know this isn't the end of this weekend, so I'm thinking that they'll swing the pendulum a little bit to the unnerving, or
it's going to come back
again. So yeah,
it's going to come back.
That's the point I wanted to make.
And here's the deal. I don't know. Has anybody tested the ion against ships that are totally maxed out? Because most of the time, people have not maxed out their ships completely. So can you one-shot a totally maxed out fighter, or is it that you're knocking out ships that are stock or half done?
So size 1 shields on a lot of the. So even if you get the best size 1 shields,
I ain't talking about on like an arrow. I'm talking about something that's a little bit more formidable.
A Gladius can take 2 shots.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 shots on a Gladius, maxed out. That's everything maxed out.
2 shots.
Okay, and that's fair to me with a size 7. I don't see anything weird about that.
Now it also depends on where it hits it. If it hits it in the rear body section, it can actually one-shot it.
Oh,
yeah, you can one-shot a prospector on the front, but if you hit that thing from the side, it takes 3 shots from an ion to kill a prospector.
Because damage doesn't carry over from the bags. On the
Right. Okay.
So
see, there are all those factors to me that still aren't there yet. They're not solid. You know what I mean? To make this become gospel about what this ship is going to be able to do. And I know it's frustrating. I can imagine how frustrating it is. Anytime we nerf a ship, anytime something happens, like any game, it throws people off because there's a certain dynamic of why we got the ship or why we like the ship. All of a sudden, the ship isn't, the ship that we thought it was before. But it's frustrating. And if somebody said something in the commentary, and this is the last thing I'll say. I think Montoya said, or somebody read and said, it would be nice that when CIG does a nerf or does something pretty drastic, that they would let the community know we did it because of this, or we're testing this, or we noticed that there was too much of this. People may not like the reason, but it would be cool to hear what brought you to that decision that you changed the ship so dramatically. I'm not talking about minor changes. I'm talking about a dramatic change.
Okay, I got to say, this is a dramatic change, but I can see the reason because I almost 6,000 damage alpha is just too high for a ship like that.
Well, too high against what, though? See, if it was Idris in the game, would it be too high?
Oh. Yes, because you could solo an Idris in this ship right now.
Oh, that's too high then.
Look, I would say 0.5% of the pilots in this game could solo an Idris in this thing, and those are the same people that could solo an Idris in a Vanguard, right? Or could solo an Idris
you can't solo an Idris. You can't solo an Idris because Idris isn't where it's supposed to be right now.
I've soloed an Idris. I've soloed an Idris in a.
You're soloing a bogus Idris. Is my point. That's not the full Idris armor and shield.
Right. And you wouldn't be able to solo a full Idris with an ion.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what my question is. My question is, could you do a real Idris with this ship? And I don't think you can. No, okay.
On no level.
Okay, gotcha.
So here's the thing. And here's what I find a little concerning, right? Is that this ship was announced, sold, released, sold. A lot of people, waited until they got the feel of the ship, right? Like, oh, I love this. I'm gonna go buy it. I got to fly in an IAE, and this is great. I love it. Now, for whether they're using it for whatever reasons that are outside of the reasons why it was like they put it, they made something that was meant for something that is not currently available.
Mm-hmm.
Something they said they weren't going to do anymore, right? So, but people are finding other uses for it, right? Which is doing other PvE missions, and they're enjoying it. People are actually having fun with it, right? And then now that they've sold all these, now they're going to change it.
But there's nothing changed. But nothing changed. The only thing that changed, it's just like when people will go take the Carrack and start doing cargo runs with it. I mean, yeah, you can do that, but that's not what
if they all of a sudden if you were doing cargo runs with a Carrack and you were like, all right, I know my functionality of the Carrack isn't there, but I can do cargo runs with the Carrack, and then they cut the cargo capacity of the Carrack in half, Just because people were complaining that it was too good, too close to a caterpillar. It was like, oh, the caterpillar is supposed to be the cargo runner.
Years.
Yeah,
they
they've
did
been
that with
talking
the
about it.
Saber Raven that came along with the Octane drive. Things got 2 EMP, things on it, and it's supposed to be better than the Avenger Warlock, which it's replacing. Yet it's worse, right?
There's Saber
The thing
Raven.
is it's no matter how many times they've done it, it's bad every time, in my opinion.
You've also had the arrow. There's the arrow.
We're going to make a final point, then we're going to move on to the ISC, because I think this ISC is going to take up a lot of conversation. So, final points on the Ion.
I'm out.
Okay.
Well, I bought it because I get for the shield capability, and that hasn't changed. And it seemed like they reduced it to accommodate that's its kind of role is not to do alpha damage against armor or because armor's not in game and that's borked. So I think that's why they dropped it down. But I bought it for the shields to kill shields. So that's my take.
All right.
I just think it shouldn't be judged right now.
Right.
I mean, we've got a long way to go. We always say it. We're in an alpha. So
and it's just in PTU as well.
Yeah.
It's just in PTU. They may not even push it to PU. I'm just hoping that they don't push these changes to the PU.
No, and our concerns are legit because we bought it according to what the print. But Griff did say you got to look at the fine print. It's subject to change. But let's, as everybody else says, let's not panic. We can be concerned, but let's not panic.
All right, I think that's a great point to end on. So thank you for that, Pops. All right, so next up we have Inside Star Citizen. So here we go.
Hey y'all. Just when we thought 2020 was a year unlike any other, 2021 came along and showed everyone that expectations were made to be broken and that there's no planning for the will of the people. So in our last ISC of the year, let's take a look back at what made 2021 the biggest year for Star Citizen yet. In January, the year began with the longest-running fan-organized event in Star Citizen, the filthiest race in the verse, the Daymar Rally. Now, when devs returned from their holiday break, they found reports of a bug that was threatening the year's event and were able to develop, test, and push out a fix just in the nick of time. It was a start to the year that reminded us all how Star Citizen only exists because of backers and developers working together in support of each other's shared dreams of a first-person universe unlike any other. January also saw the return of the Combat Summit, a gathering that would set the stage for what would become the most substantial series of updates and improvements to Star Citizen's flight experience yet, leading to the power management and capacitor changes, missile guidance and control rework, operator mode improvements, and more that would come throughout the rest of the year. January 2021 also said a temporary goodbye to Delamar, the outlaw planetoid that had been sleeping on Stanton's couch since late 2017 when it was removed in PTU to make way for the new planetary tenants arriving soon. Don't worry, we'll see you again soon, Delamar. February brought with it Alpha 3.12.1 and the release of our first dynamic event, Xenothreat, where the Outlaw Group launched a campaign of violence throughout the Stanton system and players came forward to combat the Scourge. It was a first-of-its-kind event that brought everyone in the persistent universe together in a common cause to, well, most everyone. Some of you just gotta do your own thing. And believe me, I respect that. But it was a chance for everyone else to fight with and against the fabled Idris and the biggest step forward for capital ship combat in the persistent universe yet. 3.12.1 also brought with it a bunch of bug fixes, EVA quality of life improvements, more prison missions, and improved inventory for shops throughout the verse. While the Red Festival brought new red and gold ship paints for the Nomad and Freelancer, and then for those who were lovers and not fighters or cargo haulers, Coromore 2951 brought with it a Valentine's Day contest where the community had wonderful submissions like the ones you can see here, as well as some using my likenesses that we will not be showing here. I did send one to my mom though, so that she could see what kind of stuff I have to deal with. She said you're all as special as I am. And I still don't know how to take that. March began with the first wave of our long-awaited ship naming coming to the persistent universe, where proud owners of the Hammerhead, Reclaimer, Carrick, Mercury Star Runner, 600i, and 890 Jumps could reserve their very, very, very small names. They got better. They're getting better. March also brought with it a new Cyclone MT for Stella Fortuna and our first look at the Persistent Universe's reputation system, a turning point moment in the continuing development of the Star Citizen experience, adding consequence and reward to almost any action or decision you make, and allowing our developers to build a sense of true progression as more and more systems plug into it from that point on as it went into testing with Evocati that month. April then kicked off with the visually impressive reveal of the long-rumored Origin 404, or as Paul Jones called it, a sausage dog with toilets. And we all know that when art director Paul Jones says it, you can take that to the carrot killer. April also saw new Star Citizen merchandise arrive, in-game Star Kitten helmets for subscribers, updates to the referral program, and a little thing called Alpha 313, which brought with it all manner of new goodies like brand new cave entrances and sinkholes giving new opportunities to explore with ground vehicles and spacecraft alike. New asteroids created with our refined process for more variety and less potato-ness. A wrap-up to the polished revisions of every planet and moon in the Stanton system, improving the overall look and feel of everything from Aberdeen to Yela. New mission types like quantum sensitive, timed, and multi-drop deliveries. New staggered force reactions, object push-pull trolleys, mounted guns they still won't let us put on trolleys. Give the people what they want, Rich Tyrer. Merlin Constellation docking. Vehicle visual degradation and our first ability to wash some of our ships. Mining subcomponents to improve that forever improving system. SDF shield effects to patch these holes and make for better looking effects overall. And the bigger and badder Rock DS mining vehicle. Now, not to be outdone, May came hard with Invictus launch week and Alpha 3.13.1, which brought players inside the battle-hardened Javelin class destroyer for their first glimpse of life aboard an actual UEEN vessel. It also brought the C2 and M2 Hercules Starlifters into the persisting universe to forever change the meaning of weight class. Made it an early Tonkmas with the arrival of the Tumbrel Nova. Gave us our first look at the currently in development RSI Scorpius. Gave racers a chance to compete in our first Microtech Metro Loop race, and shocked everyone when the big mammer jammer itself, the Bengal carrier, came cruising through the Stanton system. To say it was a sight to behold is an understatement, and was a fitting tribute to what was already well on its way to being Star Citizen's biggest year to date. So, June, listen, you're gonna take a break, right? After those crazy April and Mays? You'd think, but not at Star Citizen. When June said this is the way, beginning with a new Azatlan light armor for subscribers, issue council improvements and new multi-user private lobbies to make getting into games with their friends easier than ever before, an Alien Week that brought with it the newest ship manufacturer in Gitac and its Raylan cargo solution, new paints for the hottest offerings from Mapoa, Asperia, and the Banu, an intragalactic cook-off that contained enough cookies to spike my blood sugar just by looking at them, and this thing Jeremiah and I made on stream that Dave Haddock still won't acknowledge or talk about. Just wait until you see what we make for Luminalia tomorrow, Dave. June also introduced us to our next dynamic event, the Nine Tails Lockdown, improvements to the upcoming Xenothreat Redux, and new limited edition model kits from our partners at JR Design and Fabrication, who made that enormous life-size dragonfly you saw at CitizenCon, and that's sitting in 2 giant crates right next to this desk that they still won't let me open. We also learned that Ian Leland doesn't know what 7-layer dip was that month. I know we're only talking about the highlights, but that was a pretty big one. July.
All right, we're going to come back from that. And that was the first half, and going to talk about that and then get to the second half. let's start going in order. So for the first 6 months from January to June, Admiral Kusanagi, what are your thoughts? Anything you forgot about that you would say, oh yeah?
I mean, it's just a lot of stuff, you know? It's just, it's like, oh my God, that all happened then. And it was just a lot of stuff. Nothing that really comes to mind. I thought the whole thing was pretty good. IAE with the Bengal, I think was really cool. I mean, everybody got their attention, everything. I kind of like blew everything. It was like, oh my God, you know, that thing's actually in the game right now. So yeah, it was a pretty good first 6 months, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Dark Knight, do you have any opinion? Anything stuck out at you?
Not one thing, but I would say that it was just a good year. At least from my point of view, I think it was a good year. And a lot of cool things happened that brought the game further in its development that a lot of new people coming into the game would have not noticed, but they're getting a taste of what is to come, and it's not so it's not as lacking as it was for the first many years that people were involved in the project. We're starting to, at least from my point of view, we're starting to see some big not improvements but progress, and I think that progress is starting to ramp up, and I'm excited about that. And it's been a fun ride since I got started back in 3.8, and I'm excited to see what comes up next. And I've enjoyed the whole thing, and I love my 400i.
I think that's coming up for October, your 400i, so we'll come back to that one. Face to face, anything jump out at you or anything?
Sorry about that. Just got back real quick. But nothing really, but just glad to see the progress that they made, you know, as far as the game from where it was to where it is now. You know, it's got definitely a bright future. And, you know, I just hope they continue to keep pushing on with the push on, you know.
Okay, cool. Go back. I'm not skipping you. I'm coming back to you because you're co-host this week, so don't feel bad, okay?
Hey man, take your time, brother.
Griffin, are you there?
He's on mute.
Okay. All right. Hodo, how about you? What are your thoughts?
It was a lot more than I remember going through the year, because I did take probably 6 months off from the game just because I was so frustrated with one of the patches and how things were going. So it was more than I remember. Like I pretty much thought of it like 2019 and 2020. Well, 2020, 2021 kind of blended together to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was there. Granted, Invictus and all the other stuff was less of an excitement to me because once you've seen one, it feels like you've seen them all.
I think every year they improved upon the past year, though. For Invictus, anyway.
True, but I mean, it just feels like it's like IAE. Every year you see IAE, it's at the same location. It just feels like the same thing over again.
Mm-hmm. All right, fair enough. Jade, what are your thoughts?
Wow. Okay, so my first thought is looking at this. You know, it's easy to, when we're like caught up with whatever the outrage of the week is, to see this game as, you know, they need to do this instead of this. But looking at this, I have one word that describes 2021 gameplay. So we saw they started off with them officially adopting the Daymar rally to the point where they pushed out a patch just so that the race, you know, could run smoothly. And then we go through reputation system. That's gameplay. We go through, because before we used to talk about, all they do is add art assets, not me personally, but a lot of people. The death of a spaceman in the form of medical gameplay, which they haven't got to yet, but that happened. Dynamic events like Xenothreat, Ninetales Lockdown, and now we got Jump Town 2 at the very end of 2021. This is all gameplay. And I always hear people, well, there's the gameplay loops. Where's the gameplay? And it's like, are you playing this game? Because this was the year where we started actually getting some gameplay. Loot. Oh, I totally forgot about looting. I mean, Go Map would be having as fun he is dragging those bodies like without the loot system, right? Well, there was no point to when we had body dragging. When we first got body dragging, everyone was like, "Why do we have this? What's the point of this?" Now we know, right? So this year was about gameplay, and I applaud CIG for it. Sorry if I was long.
No problem. No, Griffin, you're back.
Yeah, I was here. I just couldn't hit the button fast enough last time.
Okay.
I kind of the same thing you felt, Fastcart, when I saw this and I watched the entire thing. I know we're only at the halfway point, but it was a reminder of all the things that we have seen. And I realized it's so easy to forget things. Like, to be honest with you, I forgot about Orison. It's become so much a normal part of the game that it didn't stick with me that was one of the milestones this year, was us getting that final landing zone in the area. I also think about, I still go back to remember when we got Daymar for the first time at 8 frames a second and you couldn't move, and there are so many things in the game now that we take for granted. That's why I'm always enjoy when these new players come in, particularly players from ED who have a space sim experience, and they come in, and all of us know that Elite is a very good game, but when they come into the game, they see things completely different than those of us who've been playing the game for a while. We forget how simple it is just to walk on and off a ship, that's a big deal, or the fact that we can fly anywhere on a planet and land, and it's a big deal. We've gotten spoiled. I'll speak for myself. I've gotten spoiled.
Yeah, okay.
I've over the years, and I've been in here since 2013, and I've gotten spoiled by forgetting. So when I saw this kind of reflection over the retrospective of the last year, I was like, wow, yeah, that did happen. Matter of fact, wow, all this stuff happened in 2021. I felt like this was maybe over a couple year period. No, there's a lot of stuff that did happen this year. I'm still challenged a little bit by whether or not players know what a sandbox is. I hate to say that. I still think that's an issue because I hear players.
Let me interrupt real quick. Fetch and Jawa, thank you for the raid. We appreciate it.
Oh, wow. Hey,
thank you for the raid, Fetch and Jawa. And welcome everyone from the channel. We're talking about IRC this week.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm not going to go on a tirade about this because maybe we'll do a show on it. But I'm wondering whether or not players don't know what a sandbox is anymore. We've gotten so used to being spoon-fed missions and what we're supposed to do that we've forgotten how to create our own stuff. There's so many tools in this game I haven't heard orgs yet talk about doing things against orgs. I'm talking about in a real way. And there are hundreds, thousands of orgs. And people don't create scenarios. I look at that junkyard that's on the planet. Oh my God, the PvP action you could be doing down there. Or now that we've got the new caves. And then now don't get me wrong. I understand there are some things that aren't there that help with that, such as having an economy and a solid trading system and things of that nature. But guess what? 30Ks are gone. You don't hear anybody talking about it anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Nobody's talking about it. We've gotten spoiled because we were crying. They're gone now. We don't even think about, wow, 30K, we can actually play the game somewhat now, So I said this before, as this game progresses and gets better, I worry about the fact that people will start thinking that it is a completed game, and that idea of it being in development and alpha will disappear more in people's minds. No matter how much you say it, their expectation, because there's so many things in the game that do work well, that our demand on it becomes greater. And if that's not where the game is on their timetable, not ours, then it's not. It's not beta. It's not early access.
Right.
It's alpha. And alpha says that a game is in a certain space that's broken. And when we keep wanting it to be something beyond that, and it's not, and they're not. Now, if they said it's beta and we're getting this stuff, well, yeah, we got plenty of reason to scream. But I'm not there. So I'm glad they're doing this. I hope they do this every year as a retrospect to remind backers of what we did. Yeah. Well, I don't remember them doing it like this. Maybe they did, because this is extensive to me. I just don't remember it. Maybe they have in the past. But I'm just saying I hope that they will continue to remind us at the end of the year of what they've accomplished. And Jarrett admits the fact of where they maybe did have their faux pas, where things didn't go well, because they need to acknowledge that too.
All right, but before I get to Pop, I just want to say welcome everyone to the channel. We're a we are a community discussion. If you want to join us in Discord to talk about the IRC this week, click the link below on Twitch and join in on the fun. All right,
And just real quick, I want to thank His Divine Shadow for gifting a sub to Fist and Java.
I didn't see that. Thank you.
Thanks, His Divine Shadow. Appreciate that, man.
Thank you.
That's good looking out.
Pops, what are your thoughts about the first half of IRC?
Oh wow! I mean, it's so much that's been added; it can be forgotten very easily. I think sometimes we need to take a step back, and this is a good way to do it. And just remember all the things, but then overall, everything, it is an alpha. Everything that's added into the game is in an alpha state.
All right, thank you. So, Gomab, what are your thoughts?
Couple things. Firstly, as I was watching this video earlier, and even now, in my mind, all I could think of, wow, that was this year? Could have swore. Right? You know, it feels like it was so long ago, right? Because it's just been so much. Just 2021 was a huge year for this game as far as where we started and where we are, right? We've gotten so much and we've come so far. And I am forever grateful, and I am happy to be a part of history in gaming, because I believe we are on the precipice of setting a watermark that will take a very long time to crest. On the other side of that, you know, hey, I have also learned that CIG, they listen to the loudest voices a lot of times, right? The loudest chorus, you know, and I kind of, yes, you know, breaking the fourth wall. I play a role of the critic here, but I do it from a place of appreciation and understanding. You know, I am not an unreasonable person. I know exactly what's going on. I see what's happening. There may be some decisions that are made that I may not agree with 100%, but I also tempered that with knowing that I don't know everything that led to that decision, right? So with my limited knowledge, my limited perspective as being a consumer of the product, I have a opinion. That is I know my knowledge is a tip of the iceberg, and I know there is miles beneath the waterline. So I just looking back, like you said, 30Ks are gone. We've had great new ships, amazing new opportunities to create new gameplay. Dude, you can just go raid a security bunker on Hurston and get a cool set of armor. If that's what you want to do, right? You can get your tractor beam and be a body snatcher. Finding cool new ways to do the 890 jump mission, right? I never EVA anymore. I do an 890 jump mission in a Pisces, where I just land the Pisces in the hangar and come out guns blazing. It's so fun, right? It's great. So, the new ships that, yes, we talk about the Ares and the challenges with it right now. That's the thing that's a kind of a gut punch to me, because I've had fun with that. I enjoyed that. And I was like, oh, I don't want you to make it so it's less enjoyable for me. I like this. Everything that I'm doing, I like. So I want the community to stay engaged, because that's what makes this community amazing. Stay engaged, stay vocal. Stay vocal. say, hey, don't be afraid to say, hey, I like that, or I don't like that, or I want this, or what if it was like this? Because CIG is always, they're watching these streams, they're watching the videos, they're reading Spectrum, they're reading Reddit, they're on the Discord, right? They hear you, they see you. They may not do everything you want them to do, but sometimes they might. And that's the beauty of this game that I think is just not available anywhere else. EA doesn't give a damn. Activision and Blizzard shows you they don't, right? Elite Dangerous said, that's what you want. We're gonna give you something else.
True.
You want ship interiors? No, but
you don't need.
Look, I'm gonna stop. There's no need to kick that horse. It's already dead. But no, it was cool.
Some of this stuck out to me that I had forgotten over the years. I forgot about the small name scandal. That was a big thing when naming ships first came out. Jared said, "Take that to the carrot killer," mentioning Paul Jones, saying, What was you talking about in this video? But I forget. But developers will say stuff that's just their opinion. That we don't have to take it gospel. So that's another.
No, they trolled. They trolled us. They trolled. That was them. They knew the reaction they would get, and they wanted to stir up the community. They were already they were already reading and seeing what people were saying, and they were like, "Hey, it'll be fun to kick that beehive and go crazy and swirl around."
You see, Gomez is the glass half empty. I'm the glass half full kind of guy. So we even each other. I'm worried that when we meet each other in CitizenCon, if we touch, the universe will explode. But we'll see. The other thing that stuck out to me was the 404. That was a lot of fun. I love that. And the Metro Loopways. I didn't participate myself because there was no way I would have been able to do that in any good track record or time wise. But I enjoyed that. That was an event, and they put it in for us to participate in. All right, with that, we're going to continue on with the rest of the show. So enjoy.
July was Public Test Universe Month, as Alpha 314 and its edition of Star Citizen's next landing zone, Orizon, and the gas giant crusader that sits beneath it, required an enormous amount of testing and quote-unquote banging on the pipes from backers and developers alike. Together, the two represented the next major milestone for our planet tech, content, environment, engine, graphics, VFX teams, and more. And along with it came many of those flight combat changes that began their journey back in January, a revitalization of the way radar, scanning, and ping worked throughout the universe, and new canvas slice HUD made possible by our continuing development of building blocks that provided an improved layout that maximized screen real estate while laying the groundwork for manufacturer-specific visual designs still in development, like the Aegis and Drake ones you can see here. And after living most of July in PTU, Alpha 314 was joined by the constellation Taurus when it came to the live servers in August, along with our first version of volumetric clouds that would steadily improve over the remaining months of 2021. New merchandise like the Finley Stormwall plush that looks to give Pico a run for his cuddly money. Our first chance to meet several new faces at our newest development studio at Turbulent Montreal, and more. Now inside the verse, if the new Ninetales lockdown didn't threaten to make your day enough, Xenothreat returned with a bunch of lessons learned from their first encounter and improvements to the overall flow made with feedback from our players. Now that said, Ninetales and Xenothreat weren't the most insidious forces to make their presence known in the month of August. Oh no! For August was the beginning of Ship Showdown, and the end of all sane reason and accountability when the vile armies of Argo began their campaign of busting expectations and ship brackets alike. No! We will not be showing any pictures or videos on this one. It's my show! I will mention another community event in the Fight or Flight Double Elimination Tournament, where content creators from all over the world went head-to-head in randomized ships and loadouts for the first of its kind event that I sincerely hope returns in 2022. Now October, there's a month, and it was perhaps the biggest month and the biggest year of Star Citizen yet, beginning with the return of CitizenCon in digital-only form. It was a day packed with exciting looks at the upcoming Pyro system, including new AI systems utilizing new planetary nav mesh, bringing new life and possibility to the new planets and moons of Star Citizen's persistent universe. It was also our first look at the newly reconcepted Banu Merchantman that's recently entered production, the Anvil Liberator light carrier that may prove to be essential in barren systems without a gas station on every corner like Stanton, the official reveal of the long-debated 400i from Origin, new advancements in planet and cloud tech, an update on server meshing with graphics that nearly killed Vicky, and much, much more. It was also where we saw tremendous offerings from our community in the cosplay contest, and perhaps my favorite part of the entire day, community videos that showcase precisely what separates the Star Citizen community from every other gathering of fans in gaming. Now I want you to know that if the entirety of Sleepless in Stanton isn't playing right now, complete and uninterrupted, it's because somebody's punishing me for skipping September. Now, in addition to CitizenCon, the patch with the most widespread and healthy impact on life in the persistent universe since Alpha 3.0 dropped to PTU in October with Alpha 3.15. The biggest step yet in realizing the vision of Death of a Spaceman set forth at the beginning of our crowdfunding campaign. That began with the addition of downstates, allowing for and encouraging group participation so that players can better keep each other in the fight, dealing with new injury states like broken arms and legs that impair their ability to fly or otherwise traverse the universe, and administering treatment to players and NPCs alike through healing. Now, this was coupled with the death of global inventory and the new tiered implementation of a local to vehicle to external to personal inventory revamp. Now, from this point forward, the planning, considerations, and ultimately choices players would make would be more important and impactful to their gameplay experience than ever before. Along with additional systems like loot generation, giving players more reward for their increased risk in the field, new infiltrate and defend missions, bombing mechanics alongside the new A2 Hercules Starlifter, additional improvements to Crusader and the Origin landing zone and hospitals, the only place I see more than Kleischer Prison when I get to play. October was the month that life in the verse truly changed forever, and gave us our best glimpse yet at what 2022 has to offer. Now, as Alpha 3.15 moved from PTU to live servers in November, it was followed soon after by Alpha 3.15.1, which brought with it a return to the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, the biggest showcase of spacecraft and vehicles in the Star Citizen universe. Now, this year's event saw the reveal of the Anvil Spartan, the new Aegis Redeemer, the Argo Raft, the Ares Starfighter Ion and Inferno from Crusader, the Misk Odyssey, and the Jax Midlife Crisis.
I don't know, Jimmy. Maybe this gig is passing me by. I mean, clearly I'm out of ideas. I'm rehashing old material without even realizing it.
It was an exciting event as it is every year, and one whose effects I think we'll be feeling this time next year. I'm just saying, Jax is going to come back from Pyro with who knows what. And that brings us up to December and the upcoming patch. Now, as we've seen throughout this year, not all the content included in a patch cycle will arrive on day one, as the use of our point patch system has been tremendously successful in keeping fresh each and every month of 2021. Now, that said, pending any further surprises, our next patch cycle will include a new hospital in Area 18, the Gravlev physics rework we showcased last week that will make vehicles old and new fly better than ever before. I have no real power here.
Okay, with that, you're gonna cut in because you have a bit of a long topic coming up, so I want to cover that in full as a separate thing. Well, yeah, so July to December. Let's start in the middle. Hodo, anything brought back memories to you for the second half?
Not really. I mean, the combat changes was a big change. That was huge. Um, I just wish they would finish it. Like, it's just at that point that's where I'm at. But other than that, yeah, I mean, the 400i was kind of a letdown to me, but it was cool. I really liked the change in aesthetics and the improvements there. Not much else. I mean, yeah, that's it.
Okay, Jade, I have a special question for you. Is
Sure.
it me or does Jared seem bitter about the ship showdown?
Yeah, he seemed a little bit salty. Salty Jarrett. There we go. No, but yeah, I think it's his show. Like he said, he can run it how he wants. If he didn't like the Argo cargo winning, that's his prerogative. But Argo was the rightful champion once again. So, yeah. So what I'm looking at here right now is probably one of the biggest things I think for this second half was getting volumetric clouds into the game. It's
I
something.
was gonna say the wall.
No.
Go ahead.
But yeah, like for years we used to see people photoshopping their ships with these volumetric clouds, and now that's not a dream anymore. What we're seeing again is we're seeing parts of the dream of Star Citizen become the reality of Star Citizen. Yeah, it's not a big deal for gameplay, but it is a big deal for the aesthetics of the game. And I'm looking at you, Elite Dangerous. Anyway, yeah, so that was a big deal. That it's something like the character that people waited years for. Now it's in the game, and we kind of all take it for granted, right? Because it's not only just at Crusader, but we got him on Microtech. Pretty soon we'll have him everywhere. We won't even think about it, right? IAE this year, to me, I don't know, but it seemed to me like there were more ships straight to flyable this IAE than I ever remember there being, and that's a good thing. I think that also contributed to CIG having another record-breaking year for funding. What they showed us we all we kind of glossed over like CitizenCon. We all really got to see what Pyro is going to look like. And
I mean, wait, we had the 400i, and what else was what else was straight flyable?
We had the 400i, and then we got the Redeemer, and
that was straight flyable though. That's been in the game for a while.
Yeah.
The Argo Raft.
No, yeah, the Argo Raft. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, the Argo Raft, and the I don't remember there being like 2 or 3 ships that were.
There was the Spartan.
Yeah, the Spartan.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I had trouble remembering. I was like, how many ships were there? Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
And then we had the Ares Starfighter, which wasn't straight to flyable, and the Redeemer, which has been around for a long time, and they also debuted. So the main thing is we had a lot of new vehicles to try out or to fly, and that was amazing. So that's all I have. I think it just shows again what an amazing year this year was.
Pops, how about you? What are your thoughts for the second half of ISC?
Oh, the second half for me, looking for the future. And I just have one word, Banu.
All right. Okay. Admiral Kusanagi.
Well, he just took my number 3, but I guess I'll start with the BMM because that was a big deal for a lot of people. Second to that would be armored vehicles, whether it be the Nova tank that came out this year or the Spartan. I kind of see that ground gameplay, hopefully, turning into something bigger than people expect it. And I guess I'll end with the Orison because when I started in 2.6 back in, I think it was like April of 2016, like, you get to Port O and you could go a couple moons and stuff like that, but like you would get up on Port O and that there would be like the planet and you just couldn't do anything with it. And 5 years later, now we can go down there and check out the clouds and see like, if you walk down to like that sculpture there's actually a an instrument, a wind instrument that changes depending upon how you're like where you're standing along there, and it's pretty weird, just crazy to see that they've actually added stuff like that into the game. Um, and then also, if you if you follow like the metal beams, like about 60 kilometers or so away, you'll find like giant structures for like the upcoming cargo refactoring. Just like massive locations for like Hull Seas and other ships. There were objects there I had never saw them before, and I think it was like a week ago. I was at a space station. I'm like, oh, that's that giant like gas container thing there that I saw at Orson like a month or two ago. And I was like, so I'm like, how the hell are you going to get that there? So there's a lot of stuff like I really suggest people like go check that stuff out because it's really quite a large infrastructure. But yeah, I mean, Orson's huge, and I think it has a lot to show people what's coming up in the near future.
All right. Just to let people know, I can already tell we're gonna go over for this episode of Soul Talk. So just letting people know. But regardless of that, if people want to come in and join us and talk, click on the Discord link below. So yeah, feel free to join us. Dark Knight, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so just a couple little things. Orison, I think, is absolutely gorgeous. I only go visit it when I'm planning a little tiny vacation. But it's a nice little place to go and hang out. Very beautiful, and like there's just so many places to just kind of run around. You can just go anywhere in Orison, which is really cool. And I see the potential for it opening up with habitation and events and things like that. Second thing, 30K is a 30K recovery. Can't stress that enough. That's just a huge thing. And I was mentioning in chat that I was reading a thread in Reddit, and a new player was asking, what is a 30K? Because they didn't know what it was because they had never experienced one.
Wow.
And it was at that point, I'm just like, wow, we are at a point now where 30K is a history. And those of us that have experienced it can go back and say, well, it was when the server crashed. You're like, oh, that's what it was? Oh, okay. They never knew what it was. They've never experienced one. This is probably since IAE. I thought that was just the coolest thing. And then finally, my 400i. I love it. I don't care if people call it useless. It is useless. I don't care. I love it. And I'll fly that thing around all day. And it is my daily driver. So it's not useless to me. It might be useless to other people, but I don't care. That's all that counts. I love it. It's not useless to me. So there you
go. Fist, what are your thoughts?
Oh, man. To me, I think, for this second half that we showing, the highlight for me was being able to enjoy my first Citizen Con, and especially with you guys, even though it wasn't a live and in person Citizen Con, but just being able to experience that was a fun thing, and definitely looking forward to going to the live one. So to me, that one was the biggest thing that I see out of that I remember. Just being able to see the reactions of us in the community, to, like you said, the band Merchantman, and then outside of that, to explore Crusader and to enjoy that. So those are the highlights for me.
Okay, cool. I'm going to go to Griffin Gaming and then go Mab.
What's the question?
What are your thoughts about the second half of the ISC?
I'm just kidding. Yeah, again, nothing more than what I said earlier. Just, again, just a nice reminder of the cool things that have happened in the game. For those of you like Fastcart who said they appreciated the 404 commercial, I'll choke you. Origin people didn't appreciate that. But
that's part of why I appreciated it.
Yeah. But no, I mean, there was just a lot of good things to be reminded of things that have happened in the game. I know Hodo mentioned about the flight combat. There's been so many back and forths with that, and I agree. I think that, it's starting to finally get where it needs to be. I was surprised at some of the new things they introduced, such as the missile locking and all the other things that they added into it. And it's been kind of interesting to see that went into a different direction. And I am curious to see whether or not there are some people who say that it gets a little too complicated, and there are other people who like the additional things that they've added to it. So I've heard the same thing about mining, though. There are some people who say that mining has gotten too complicated. We've talked about this before, CIG. What will be the level of depth that they create for all the professions? Yeah, there is a learning curve. There's a lot to do in those professions. But I think that for the longevity of the game, it's going to be a challenge. And maybe it needs to be more challenging for game players, because games have gotten kind of, pretty straightforward. We haven't had things that have made us really have to think about when we're doing something. So I hope that this next year, as we move into, the cargo refactoring is coming, salvage is coming. Hopefully we'll see 2 or 3 more professions in 2022 to kind of spread things out a little bit more, as well as the economy and things like that. But they've done some good stuff as far as I'm concerned for this year.
Oh, cool. But before we get to Gomez, I'm just going to give my quick thought. For the last ship showdown battle between the MSR and the Argo Cargo, there were 15,000 new accounts made. Normally, put it this way. To compare, during the IEE with the free fly, they made 5,000 accounts per day. On a typical day without any of that going on, it's 400 to 500. So the odds against the MSR were high, and just wanted to note that, because I'm a Jared on that one. Yeah, I barely want to talk about that. They took away the hanger module. That wasn't in the report, but that's something near and dear to me, because that's one of the first things that I came into Star Citizen that they had going for it. They had the Arena Commander and they had the hanger module. So I was excited to see the hanger module go, and I'm hoping they'll bring it back soon. The Taurus, the new merchandise, Geno Threat. The BMM they recovered, and poor Vicky. Yeah, I hope she got a raise. So, what are your thoughts, Gomez?
Like Griff said, everything I said before still stands. Yeah, the second half, man, they really turned on the gas, though. From Orison. To the meme showdown, ship showdown. And people will justify however it is, but say, hey, it's because of the future reasons and other things that aren't in the game. Whatever. All right, it was a meme. The new ships that came out were all good and useful in their own way, and will be more useful in the future. The 400i is an absolute enigma, because it is an absolutely useless ship, but I absolutely love it and fly it all the time. So there you have it. It's not, So
wait,
it's one of those.
400i is the Constellation Killer? I couldn't
so
say that without laughing.
Yeah, no. I think there needs to be Chris Roberts needs to decree stop comparing ships to other ships when you release them, because you get it wrong every time.
I couldn't agree more.
Yes.
You just don't do it right. It's the 400i to me is a better, more polished Cuddy Black or Freelancer, but it definitely doesn't even. It's not in the same realm as a Connie, for better or worse, right? It's not better than a Connie. It's not worse than a Connie. It's not even in the same space as a Connie. But anyway,
Origin 400 does not compare to anything. It's an Origin ship.
It's its own thing.
Right?
Nomad 1701, thank you for the subscription. 10 months. Wow, thank you.
Wow, thanks, man.
Thank you.
By
the way, go mad if you don't mind me cutting in real quick. I was impressed with this thing with this new Cutlass they showed.
Yeah, we're gonna save that for.
Okay, we'll save it. Okay.
That's next.
No.
That's coming up next. That's coming up next.
That's coming up next.
I'm
Matter of fact,
sorry.
we're starting now.
I'm sorry.
All right, no
Yeah.
problem.
So I mean, but yeah, that healing in game. Oh my God, that's awesome, right? You know what I'm saying? We're getting a step closer to the death of a spaceman, and that meaning something. And you know, I mean, they got some tweaking to do. You know, this is just that. This is just the beginning. The tiers of the medical beds, the clinics, the hospitals. You're no longer spawning in a hab anymore, right? The places where we've gone from the beginning of this year, the middle of this year to now, is like, oh wow, this is a totally different experience. The inventory, right? You now have there's another level of thought that you have to engage before you go do anything. You can't just accept a mission to go raid a bunker and get there and do some hand wavium when you get there and pull all of your inventory and equip your stuff and go. You have to plot plan. Where's your stuff at? Go get it, equip it, make sure you have spares, load some spares onto your ship, you know, and so it adds layers and elements to the actual gameplay to make it more engaging. And so I think before, you know, the game was not very wide because we don't have the Stanton system, but it was deeper, right? I think we still haven't gotten wider, right? I think the wider is coming, but I think the depth has just gone, you know, so many levels deeper. And that once we do go wider, it's just going to be massive.
Yep. Okay, that's a good way to end. And yeah, I just want to say, probably for the last time in 2021, Banu Mustard Man!
I can't wait to get that shit Fastcart. I cannot wait.
Which we should really come up with a better name for, because it's also Raven's Roost and Paradise Cove now as well. And something new to help players hold down those drug labs, allow me to introduce to you the Cutlass Steel, the newest offering from Drake Interplanetary that lets you bring people and guns to bear on targets like never before. Let's start with the guns. We heard you like guns, so in addition to the 4 size 3 gimbals controlled by the pilot, 1 man turret with size 3s, we've added an additional remote turret with size 2, a whole bunch of missiles, and of course the brand new hotness, 5 door-mounted ballistic Gatlings, 2 on each side and 1 at the rear to bring a veritable death blossom of firepower down upon Raven's Roost, Paradise Cove, Jumptown, or heck, just about anywhere. Then, once you've cleared the area, we go inside the ship to discover a whopping 18 jump seats full of mercenaries or commandos ready to maintain control of the area. Is it a lot? Maybe. Is it excessive? Possibly. Is it Drake? Through and through, you bet your butt it is. The Cutlass Steel will be straight to flyable when our next patch goes live. Let me try some unofficial ad copy here. The Drake Cutlass Steel. It's a lot. All in all, it's pretty easy to look at 2021 and be incredibly proud of what we've accomplished together. We know it's not always an easy path, and that the road bumps and detours along the way can sometimes make for a frustrating experience. But for those of you who have watched this year's over 100 videos on YouTube or Twitch, or read the 250 plus comm links on the robertspaceindustries.com website, or engaged with the thousands of dev posts across Spectrum, Reddit, or social media, we hope this all gives you a sense of just how much this project means to us, how much your involvement sustains us, and how much we very often share the same feelings in both our victories and our setbacks. They say that video game development has always been a collaborative process, but perhaps if we've learned anything this year, it's that none may be more so than Star Citizen. And we're thrilled to have shared our 2021 with you. For Inside Star Citizen, and on behalf of Cloud Imperium Games, I'm Jared Huckabee, come on and hang out with Jeremiah and I one more time before the holidays on Twitch tomorrow. And we'll see you right back here in the new year. Take care.
At first I thought it was a giant coffin, and then I kind of just realized it was just a jump, like a jump ship to drop people down on there, and it's got a lot of suppressive fire. So I think if it just gets in and out quick, or drops ground troops, so away from a danger zone, then it's a perfect little ship. And then akin to that, I think that if you think about this thing being supported, or I should say, this ship supporting a Kraken, then I think this gets a little bit more impressive at a Kraken's capabilities. So that's about it.
Thank you. So yeah, Dark Knight, what are your thoughts about the Drake Cutlass deal?
Cool. I mean, people that like Drake, that's good for them. It's they got something else to play with, and they get something with some drop seats and some guns. Pew pew. So yeah, I mean, that's good for them. I don't want it, but but that's cool. But I was Jared pointed it out. It's just been an awesome year. It really has. So.
Yeah, he was good touching at the end, and you could tell that wasn't acted; that was all real. So yeah,
and I feel it.
Yeah,
thank you, Jared. Thank you, CIG.
Griffin. Okay, yeah, go ahead about the Cutlass deal now, please.
Yeah, I'm curious to learn more about the ship itself. It looks cool. Whether or not a railgun can take it out with one hit will be a question. With the name Steel, I would hope it means that it's reinforced or something. But yeah, it looks like an interesting new piece other than the Valkyrie to introduce for missions like what you're seeing here. And obviously they mentioned Jump Town, things of that nature. So it's a nice modification of the Cutlass Black. It's going to breathe different, I guess, bit of life into it. 18 people in that bad fella, though. That's interesting. That's a lot of people to die at one time. So
the medical beds are going to be full.
I'm really curious to see how well she holds up with taking fire back. Plus, it's ballistics, it seems like, too, which means there's going to be ammo-related issues with that ship. Not issues, but, things to consider, with using it. So, yeah, seems pretty cool, though.
It's on the screen right now. We have a gift cat link video or gift, put it that way. It's from Reddit, but I got it from Osmian from the Astropub Discord. So thank you for that. But they got it from Reddit. But yeah, that's on the Great Cutlass Steel in action. Hodo, what are your thoughts?
I am not thrilled by it. I'm a hardcore Cutlass fan, and I think the Cutlass is horrible right now in a horrible place. You're just 26 people in that ship total. You got 18 people plus crew, and everyone all the guns. You're literally half the server. The Valkyrie used to be a flying morgue. This thing is a flying mortuary. No, just no.
Such strong feelings about this ship. I shouldn't be surprised, but I kind of am. Jade, what are your thoughts?
Well, Cade 7596 beat me to it, and I said this before the show. 25 people on a Cutlass or any Drake ship and no toilet. Okay. Yeah, I hope they introduce a Cutlass brown latrine so that they have somewhere to go. But yeah, like
brown.
The doors are for. You just open them up.
Right. Yeah, but the door gunners are going to be in there too.
That's what your spacesuit's for. That's what the life support is, right? It covers everything.
The door
life
holds
support
your
on
hand.
a Cutlass. But yeah, like, I look at this and I think, on a serious note, we're seeing this being introduced. We saw they finally put out the Redeemer, and I was talking with Karate earlier before the show, and I asked him. I said, "Do you think this is because of Squadron, or do you think it's Theaters of War?" And he believes it's because of Theaters of War, and so that might give some hope to people who've been looking forward to Theaters of War. That's all.
I'm wondering whether it's going to be because they're going to increase the server capacity, to be honest with you.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense to Hodo's point, and I didn't say it because I don't want to be spreading rumors, but since he said it, I will. I wonder whether this next year we're going to see that happen. Because we talked about what are the main things we would love to see happen with CIG. Server meshing was one of them, but raising player counts is the other. And so you've got, all these multi-crew ships, and, we keep talking multi-crew, but like you just mentioned, you can put a third of the server on this one ship if you wanted to. So they've got to make it practical, we've got to start seeing that the server counts go up.
Yeah.
Pops, what are your thoughts?
I thought the same thing Griff just said about having all those people in there in that one ship, but I guess it'll bring a new meaning to Living the Drake, Dying the Drake. It'll be a lot of people dying in it, but I hope hope it comes around and gets right like the rest of everything else. But it looks like a fun ship to get in maybe once or twice, and do something in it. But yeah.
Once or twice, huh? Okay. Not much replayability.
Yeah, I mean it's first person shooter drops. I mean it can be fun, but buying one, no, not for me. But I'll get in it, play around.
All right. So, going back, I have two questions for you. One, do you think the Cutlass is a better gunship than the Redeemer? And two, what do you think the price will be when it comes out?
First question is silly.
Explain why, please.
And the second question is $1 too much. My thoughts on this new ship, aka the Drake. We delivered 26 people to med beds faster than anybody ever thought possible. Is that it's probably going to be like a $5 CCU from a Cuddy Black, right? It's going to have more missiles, another turret, and a cool paint job as an upgrade to a Cuddy Black. That's what it's going to be used for 97.325% of the time for the people that, for some reason, want to spend their time in a Cutlass ship in the verse. There are people that love Cutlass ships. There are people that love them, right? Just like we love that crazy cousin that keeps stealing our stuff and keep inviting him over our house. They love that Cuddy ship, even in the state that it's in. We want it to get back to where it was, like Hodo said. I love the Cuddy ship. I have all mine. It's been one of my mainstays, but they have beaten it to the ground. This ship, we looked it up earlier. It's slower than a Cuddy Black. It's got more firepower. It could take more people in. But yeah, unless they've made it strong enough to withstand sustained fire, fast enough to avoid sustained fire, it's just going to be a med bed delivery system for 26 people. So, but I'm sure there are people that will fly it and will enjoy it and love it because it's new and it's got its quirks and it's a Cuddy.
I think it'll probably be the same price as the Cutlass Blue, that 165, I believe. Whatever the Cutlass Blue is, I think it'll be the same price. So it's about, I don't want to say it's the same tier, but I don't see them. Well, they could make it more expensive. We'll see. But that's my guess.
175, so they won't make it that much. It'll be between the red and the blue. Probably be about 150.
One between red and blue? Yeah, I can see that.
$1 too much.
What is the price of right? You're gonna bid $1 and win.
Hey, it's
My
a dollar
thought,
too much.
my thoughts on it is it's not my type of ship. It's not my type of gameplay. So I will be giving it a pass. I don't have any Drake ships in my fleet at the moment. I did have the Drake the Drake Dragonfly Yellow Jacket, but I melted that or got rid of it or CCU'd it. So yeah, we'll see how it turns out.
Hey, Fastcart, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
On all reality, the things that they have done to this ship, right? They've added they've added more missiles. They've added a remote turret, and they put door guns on it, and they put drop seats. Take away the drop seats, right? And these are all things that they should just do to the Cuddy Black, right? They should have just updated the Cuddy Black to make it better. Even if you took away the door guns, right? If you just added a remote turret and some better missiles and fixed the freaking maneuverability nerf that they gave to it in 3.14, the Cuddy Black will be a decent ship again. But in fear of sounding a little salinated over here, then they're not going to make any money doing that, right? So they're going to go with this. They're going to release a new ship.
The Cutlass Steel. I do like the name of it.
Yeah.
Well, that makes me think. If I could just jump in there, I wrote down maybe it comes stock up armored, but then like the steel makes me wonder if it just comes that way automatically. If it could take an extra this as on the screen here, we're seeing them hit the ship as it's just flying away, and the shields look down at me. It's just hitting the hull. So I just have to wonder if it's going to just be harder to kill than any other Cutlass stock.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, here's a question for everyone, and Twitch chat can answer too. Is anyone getting this ship, the Cutlass Steel? Anyone getting it?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
I think that's unanimous in here. What about Twitch chat? Anybody getting the Cutlass Steel in Twitch chat? And while we're waiting for the answer to that, I'm going to start discussing the machinima we're having. So this week's machinima is called Star Citizen Chronicles of Stanton, Episode 1, The Exchange. It's by Cut and Win Incorporated. It was made earlier this year, February 5th. The synopsis is a meeting between a seller and a buyer has been carefully planned for weeks, but as the exchange is about to take place, a hidden predator up the stakes and shows its color. So let me look at our Twitch chat real quick. Can anybody say yes? Oh, Iron Barton said for sure, and Shake said yes, probably. And Star Helix said probably, just for the metallic exterior. Yeah, you just want to put it
just to be clear, Shakes will give the poets a run for his money. I just want to say that.
Oh, okay.
This Divine Shadow's blaming me for his purchase of the ship, but
all right, so that is the synopsis for Chronicles of Stanton. So here we go. scaring you, am I? Look, I'm not going to hurt you. And we're back. And I unmuted myself everywhere this time, so thank goodness for that. That was, sorry. That was Dark Citizen Chronicles of Stanton, Episode 1, The Exchange by Cut and Win Incorporated. I saw a little background on it. Griffin is on vacation, so I asked him if he had a machinima in mind or whether I should look for one. I decided to go to Discord and look for one, and I typed in Dark Citizen machinima, and I scrolled through all what were the results, and I came across this one, and I was like, oh, we haven't seen that one, I don't think. And so I asked Griffin what he thought about it. He said, oh, it's on his list, so I know it's good to go. But let's go in order. So, Amma Kusanagi, what are your thoughts?
Like always, like the community people from us, from the Star Citizen community do a fantastic job, making the universe into something that's greater than what it currently is, and this is another something to showcase that ability and the passion that people have for the game, and it was really good. So just like to thank this person for spending the time to do this. This is fantastic stuff.
Okay, Dark Knight.
Yeah, I'll just echo what Admiral said. It's great to see the community putting things together and creating content and things like that. I would like to see more because I didn't quite get it. I'm just being honest.
Okay, well, it's playing right now, but yeah, we put the link in Twitch chat, so you can check it out there again.
But the music was, I mean, I like to use the Star Citizen music. um, and there were some really cool shots in there. And yeah. I mean, I would hope to see more in their episode 2 so I can understand what was, kind of get a little bit more of the story. Honestly, without without much dialogue, that didn't help very much. But I did notice that that's Old Crusader. So this was done a while ago. Yeah.
I just want to thank
February.
I just want
Go
to thank
ahead.
Dark Knight for saying that, because I was confused, but I forgot to mention it, but I do want to thank DK for bringing that up.
Yeah, no problem.
Mr. Face, what are your thoughts?
I appreciate, like I said again, those echoing Admiral and everybody else, the community and everybody, putting their efforts into these machinimas, and the shots was amazing. Only thing I will say that I'm kind of a little pushed back a little bit in the beginning. I would have liked the choice of music to be less emotional and more I'm trying to think of the right word here. I guess you could say ominous, because when I looked at the video, it was disconnecting. At first I thought I was watching, something to, emotionally engage you to the ship and to the game and to the planet. But then as I read the description, I'm like, oh wait, this is about something, a fight between people and an exchange. I'm like, that music could have been different. So that's my only tip though. But keep it short. Liked it.
No
It's cool.
problem. All right, thank you. Griffin, how about you?
Yeah, I'd go along with Fist on that. The music was kind of counter to the basis of the story. There is an episode 2 for this. I haven't watched it yet. That's why I kind of had this one on the list. I wanted to kind of see where they were going with it. I think they put this next episode out a few months later, but I haven't had a chance to watch it. Visually, it had some nice shots in it. Spent a lot of time on the MSR. I almost thought it was an MSR commercial at the beginning. But I'd probably have to say I'd have to see how this one unfolds. We've talked about the different machinimas that we have on. Some people are just getting started. Other people, as we talked about on the show with you and Jade on Sunday, we've got some people out here who professionally have been doing stuff for a while and do some really incredible work. But we try to give everybody an opportunity, to show the different talents in the community. So this is another one of the talents that's out there. It's good stuff to watch.
Cool. Photo.
Wrong button. It was good, but again, it was one of those, like, the cinematics was amazing. Like, his shots were really pretty. I really wasn't exactly sure the whole story, what he was trying to convey, other than possibly a day in the life of someone who just goes out and has fun. But I have no idea. Like, I didn't quite get the imagery he was trying to put across.
Well, let me read the description here again. It says, a meeting between a seller and a buyer has been carefully planned for a week, but as the exchange is about to take place, a hidden predator ups the stake and shows its colors. That's
great. That's great to have the description, but the problem is you have to read that description to get it. And you shouldn't have to. We should kind of gotten something from the story. All we know is that two people met. All of a sudden, the guy got a little spooked, and somebody started shooting, and it's like, who's the bad guy here? You just didn't know. That's why I said this story's got to unfold a little bit more, because I don't think there was enough for people to get, other than the title, The Exchange. What was being exchanged? Did we see anything exchanged? They could have been just getting together to talk.
Yeah.
Well, they could have. Maybe they were just talking. I mean, again, without reading that description, there wasn't enough there, I don't think, to get us to understand what was going on. So again, and maybe it's where the story will unfold. We've seen some other machinimas like that, whereas we've gone into them in chapter 2s and 3s, we start to understand where they're going. So, we'll give it that. Give it that to see what happens. Yeah, go ahead.
Jump back in real quick. Even though they didn't, their voiceovers, couldn't really hear when he the person in the vehicle showed
I
up.
thought that was just
Really
me. I
hear
couldn't
that.
understand what they
I
were
was
saying.
No, it was soft.
it was
You
it
could
was it
barely
was
hear
it
it.
was right. You can barely hear it. That's a big issue. Number two is, even if you don't do voiceovers, put up text. You know, put that up there to explain what's going on. Just a simple thing. XYZ's meeting at this coordinates, blah 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 blah. You see that all the time in movies.
That was at the beginning. At the
Mhm.
very beginning, if you play it again, that was all at the
Yeah,
very beginning
they had
in the
something.
intro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
but
was
you
Yeah.
gotta,
pretty,
like
yeah.
Griff said, you gotta read it, and
Mhm.
a really good machinima. Sorry,
Mhm.
sorry, I'm jumping in. I know.
No, go ahead,
my
Jed.
time
Take things at your opportunity anyway.
Yeah,
You are
yeah,
next.
yeah. I don't have a lot to add to what everybody else said. What Fizz said about the music, absolutely.
Mhm.
It made this feel like it was like not so much a machinima, but a cinematic at first,
Mhm.
until we got to the confrontation. So
Mhm.
that's where, like, Fizz was saying, music sets the scene, sets the mood, and so that would be the one tip that I would say as far as making this better. And that tension, if he had like something, or they had something that was like more of a tension thing, like
Mhm.
suspense, that might have conveyed what was going to happen next better. But yeah, these are some great cinematic shots,
Mhm.
and they're definitely on the right track. I look forward to seeing what the next episode is. So yeah.
Can I jump back in real quick? I did,
Mhm.
as I'm looking at the video and I do see the text. The problem with that is that it did not draw your attention to it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And by the time you get to the actual action, you forgot what the text had said, because that's like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Right. You could have what they could have done is put a typewriter or a kind of a sound effect to simulate something that is, guiding you to that text right there.
Mhm.
Maybe some type of because it looked like he put in a glitching effect to the text, something to emulate that. So that would have drawn you to the text. Because to me, I'm thinking it's just simple credits in the beginning.
Mhm.
I'm not paying it any mind.
Mhm.
Yeah, Fizz, so how are you going to find a typewriter in 2951? No, I'm messing with you.
I mean, it's
I know what you
true.
mean.
Well,
I
I
know what you mean.
Mhm.
I know what you mean.
They could have used like a glitch sound, or like a
Mhm.
computer sound or whatever.
Mhm.
Pop, what are your thoughts?
I don't usually like to be on the negative side.
Mm.
I feel a butt coming.
However,
yeah, the shots were great shots, just like the shot that's on the thing. They're too long. They're just too long. They could be a lot shorter, and it would have been a lot better pace to it. I mean, the whole beginning was just it. It made me go to sleep almost. Really, I'm just being honest. But it sells. The one thing that's really extra positive, it sells Star Citizens on the shots. The shots were great, but as far as the storyline, didn't work. Now I'm sorry.
No problem. Don't apologize.
Yeah,
Oh, go mad. You're going to be the glass half full type here, right? You're going to do it. Not meet people's expectations and be positive with this, right?
My message to the creator of this: keep creating. You've got talent that just needs to be refined. The best part about this video was the dialogue, and there wasn't any.
I just gave you the side eye just now. I double take when you said that.
No, seriously. No. So I say that jokingly, but taking a step back, I see that he was trying to. The creator was trying to tell a story, and and as I watch it through the replay, I can see the story. I see it like, oh, okay, I get it. As we talk about it,
he didn't get on the first try, though. He didn't get on the first try.
No, they didn't get the first try. But the people that hey, that's one of the amazing things about this community are I would say the cornerstone of the Star Citizen community is the content creators, right? It brings so many people to the game. It keeps so many people so immersed and so engaged in it. And so, hey, you're going to have such a wide range of quality and skill and talent that this is going to be room for everybody to do it, right? So I'm not going to sit here and rag on the person. That like some of the shots like this, like that chase scene, man, that was an amazing shot. Like that probably took a while to get that, and they did a really good. I can really see that they have a cinematic vision. But like Pop said, right? Hey, look, learn your pacing, right? Learn how to get in and get out of that scene, right? And learn how to. Sometimes your video will be 10 minutes long, where it would have been great if it was just 4 minutes long or 5 minutes long. You didn't have to spend that much time, but it's hard to have the discipline after you've spent 3 hours trying to get a shot to only use 5 seconds of it.
This is, and I have to jump in and with you though, Go. This is one of the things about production. You have to disconnect yourself from the product.
Right. Yeah. So that comes with repetition, with time, with practice, with delivering and failing and delivering again and succeeding and getting better and better. And this may not be his first. It's probably not his first because of the quality that I do see in the shots. Right. So I am excited to see where they go from here. How's that for glass half full?
Yeah,
I agree.
You surprised me. Yeah, but
we've seen
Let the head go, man.
We've seen that in other projects where projects have gotten better as they go along, right?
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be the first time, and I think that all streamers, all the creators say that they learn each time they do it, and they, like you said, GoMap, they refine their craft. It gets better and better with each one. That's why I said I'm looking forward to seeing episode 2 to see where this goes.
Yeah, age-old saying, less is more.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to be overly critical.
You weren't. No. I 100% agree with your assessment, and that I just wanted to add a different wrinkle to it that nobody else said. Right? Just the.
He was trying to be contrarian without being contrarian.
Yeah,
it's called constructive feedback.
Somebody they spent their time. They, like I said, the shots were beautiful shots. It was the pace. Once the pace, you disconnected, and then when it came to the action, it was like, the shots of GoMab is right. The shots of the action with the car jumping and the other one firing at it, that was cool, but it ended up kind of nowhere. And Griff is right. I do want to see where it goes because I want it to be better. I want it to be better.
We kind of, I'm gonna be honest with you, kind of a little bit tired of the Michael Bay. You gotta give us some context.
But that's where the money is. Michael Bay bank. No, like I said, I was just looking for machinima. I'm disappointed to hear all the not negative but criticism. I'm disappointed that my pick of one of the first few picks of machinima I made had all these like the him and the Han go. No, I'm messing with you guys. I love you guys. One thing I will say is that I'm curious about why the cinematic makers picked the character that he had. I like that he picked a person of color per se, but the red eyes threw me off. I'm like, what's up with the red eyes? Is he a Sith? Is he like with the dark side? I'm not sure about that. So I'm just curious about that.
30th century genetic engineering.
Yeah.
There
But
you
other
go.
than that, I did like the shots in this video. And I maybe because I read the description first before I watched the video that it wasn't drawing to me, so maybe that's what it was. But Griffin, you said this was on your list. You just wanted to see the second episode before you got to it. Maybe
Yeah.
next time we can go over it and see how it goes.
Yeah, we can do episode 2 next to see, just so folks don't, you can keep it in memory of what we were watching. That's fine.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
Yeah.
Previously on.
So I'm not going to show the video, but we are doing a giveaway on our YouTube channel. If Kusanagi can put the link in put chat, I appreciate it. I just looked 2 minutes ago. We're at 937 subs. We're looking to reach 1,000, and we'll give away a Constellation Phoenix with 10-year insurance or 120
Come
months
on.
insurance. So we
1,000.
So let's get to 1,000, even though I can't win.
We're almost there.
By December 31st, by the end of the year, we want to reach 1,000.
So yeah, so make sure you click on the link that Admiral Kusanagi just posted, subscribe, and comment for a chance to win. And so thank you for that. And like I said, we are about 63 away. So we started around 700 something.
Yep. And anybody in my org that wins that ship, y'all already know. You just have to give it to me. It's okay.
No, that only was one. Go mad. Only one.
Hey! Look, they're not cast members.
I want to thank everyone for joining us. We have Admiral Kusanagi, Dark Knight, Fistface, Griffin, as always, Hodo, Jade, Potface, and my co-host, GoMab ATL. Next week, well, our next show, we are doing a Holiday Wishes show on Sunday, December 19th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. UTC on this channel on Twitch. With that, we'll talk about our holiday wishes and go over a few other things that hopefully people will enjoy. Griffin, you want to talk anything about this?
Yeah, if you guys, real quick, we are actually turning this weekend for Holiday Wishes, a special fundraiser that we're going to be doing. Some of you remember Aliciana Noir, been in Star Citizen for quite a while. We're going to give some information about what's going on, but we're doing a fundraiser for her, one of her family members, and we've invited a lot of the content creators in the Star Citizen community that have known her over the years to drop in on the show this Sunday and give their holiday wishes, but also to help us raise money for her. So we want to encourage you guys to be there this Sunday. We are going to do our holiday wishes, is always our show to talk about what it is we would like to see happen in Star Citizen for the next year, for 2022. And this is also going to be our last show of the year. We won't be back until I think the second week in December, or I'm sorry, in January. So this will be our final show for the year. So at least on the Sunday show, I should say. So if you guys, we would love to have you come on Sunday, get to see some of the other guests that are coming by. I know we had a few of them who said that they're definitely going to swing through and say hi, and also to give some encouragement to Aliciana. So yeah, that'll be it this Sunday.
So we may or may not have a Thursday show this coming Thursday. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
We'll tweet about it and
we'll announce it on Sunday. Yeah, we'll announce it on Sunday if we're going to have it or not. I'm expecting a new computer to come in, so if that does happen, then we'll be doing a Thursday show.
Okay. So with that, I want to say make sure you follow us on social media. We're on Twitter, YouTube, or you definitely subscribe to our YouTube in order to win. Instagram, we have on Soundcloud for a podcast. And also check out our merchandise. We have gamepads, shirts, mugs, and hats. And I just want to say thanks everyone for checking us out, and hope to see you on Sunday. With that, peace, love, and soul. Thank you, everybody.
Hang on, before we go, we didn't. I didn't get anybody to raid. Nobody sent me anybody. So
yeah, that's why I skipped it, because I didn't see anything in the channel.
Yep, that's okay. We're going to do Uber Nerd. Okay.
Uber Nerd. Okay. All right. Thanks everybody. Uber Nerd.